So that's your Justin Timberlake story?
Who
Wow.
knew you could do that with grapes?
Yeah,
I know.
oh gosh. That's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
so Scottrade's wrapping up. Near the end of Scottrade,
Yep.
you started looking for another job.
Yes.
Monster, those other websites out there, there's headhunters out there that are always looking for people.
Yeah.
Tell us about, you were telling me about Enterprise. How did Enterprise work into your Scottrade career?
So yeah, they were starting a new UX department. I can't remember if they called me, if I called them, or what happened, but I got an offer from them eventually, and it was a lot more than I was making at Scottrade. I had a good enough relationship with my boss that I was able to talk to her and say, hey, I got this offer, and Scottrade wound up matching it and a little more, so it turned out to be a pretty good financial move for me. So I stayed at Scottrade for a little bit longer.
Because at Scottrade, how are you evaluated? Like every quarter, every year?
Yeah, I think it was, I think we did every quarter, maybe every half a year or something like that, but, so, yeah, you'd have to kind of self-evaluate, and then you would talk to your boss, and like my boss would call everybody around the company and see, you know, what's it like to work with John, and so she'd get a lot of feedback from them, and luckily it was mostly positive, but yeah, so you're really judged on, you know, a lot of it is your relationships and your personality. You know, you have to have the skills, but
Ability to work with others.
ability to work with others is huge. I mean, so many times I've been told that, you know, after I've been hired onto a new job or something, and you know, my boss has said,
you're working on a new team or something like that.
yeah, and you know, my boss has said, you know, we hired you because we knew you'd be a good fit here. And so, again, you have to have the skills, but personality and how you present yourself and how you work with others is very important.
Okay. And about a year ago, you left Scottrade for Proficient.
Proficient, yep.
And now we were talking earlier about in-house versus freelance versus agency. Proficient is agency. Tell us about Proficient and how you got to Proficient.
So, yeah, I was kind of ready to leave Scottrade. I was looking for a new position. I found, I think on Indeed or Monster, one of those, that Proficient had an opening. I had known people that had worked there before, and I knew it was a good company. And I also knew people that worked there currently. And so, you know, I applied online. I did the regular thing you're supposed to do, submitting your resume. But then I also contacted those people that I knew and just kind of asked them to make sure that my resume got to the right spot. And that's, you know, that's important. Whatever you do is just kind of that networking and keeping in touch with people that you've worked with, and that helped. I'm sure that helped a lot, you know.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Not what you know, but who you know. But I mean, you still got to know what you know.
Yeah.
So Proficient, are they local? How big are they? What are they like?
Yeah, so their headquarters is in St. Louis, but we have offices all over the country. We work with people overseas as well. So in India, a lot of our developers are over there. So yeah, it's a company that's, you know, they're changing. They have new, like most companies, they're always kind of reevaluating their strategy.
Are you still like the UX guy at
I am.
Proficient?
I'm the only one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you still like drawing upon your research and knowledge of user experience from Scottrade, or are you still like reading up on journals and stuff to keep up on user experience?
Yeah, that's a good question, because yeah, right now it's mostly the experience that I've had at Scottrade. I had a really good boss. She was a mentor to me in a way. And you know, when I got this job, I even wrote her and said, thank you for teaching me all this stuff, because this is all the stuff I need to know right now to take this next kind of level. And so that experience has helped me quite a bit. But I'm still, you know, keeping my finger on the pulse of what's happening in UX and web design, and even all, you know, development and all the other things that I I'm not directly involved in, but I affect them and they affect me, so, yeah.
Okay. So we're watching you on video today because you were going to come in Thursday with me like you did 2 years ago for Career Day. But your job told you here recently that you're going on a trip to Miami.
I'm
You
heading down.
travel a little bit. I know you've been to Cincinnati. Where else you been with this? Has it just been?
Cincinnati, God, where else have I been? I don't know. I think that's about it, really. There was a client in Cincinnati we worked with quite a bit.
Kroger,
Kroger.
the
Yeah.
grocery store.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, so now I'm heading down to Miami, and it's a
So
little bit.
it's Thursday morning, and you are in Miami, an hour ahead of us, probably sitting in a meeting. You're probably not sitting there doing web design. You're probably,
Yeah, no, this is all gathering research. I need to go to, like, I have a few activities in mind that I'm gonna do with the client to kind of help both of us kind of hone in on what they want exactly, and what I need to be able to do is, when I leave Miami, is be able to start designing a system for them. So I have to go down there and just get as much out of them as I can, ask a ton of questions, and kind of guide them through the process to really get them to the root of what it is that they want to get out of this product when we design it for them.
okay, and this is a real estate company you're working for, and so you're gonna read up on them and
Oh, yeah.
research them a bit as you go down there and go, it looks like this is what you want in one, or like, what are you, do a lot of like objectives and short-term, long-term type stuff?
Yeah, I mean, so we'll meet with, the product owners and some of the higher ups and whatnot, and understand what the high level strategy is, and then kind of talk to more of the mid-level people and understand how they view it, and just combine that all, and also understanding who their customers are, what they need. But it's a lot of research in the company, it's talking to the people themselves at the company, and then also drawing on the experience of what we've done previously to design certain intranets or websites for companies like them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then you're gonna come back and you'll probably spend days or a few days doing like mock-ups and throwing ideas out there. What do you think of this? What do you think of that type stuff?
Yeah, so I'll do what we call wireframes, and it's gonna be based on my previous experience, what we call best practices, but then tailoring that to what this company in particular wants. And usually, these companies may not really know, they haven't been through this process before, so I'll kind of have to direct that and say, we'll have a review. If we can do twice a week, great. If we can do once a week, whatever. I'll need feedback within 24 hours. So you kind of set the stage and set the pace for them, because, like I said, they haven't done it before. So.
Right, so this company doesn't have a web component to their company.
They do. I mean, nowadays everybody does, but a lot of people are ready to sort of redesign it or rethink it. And the technology has changed so much that there's systems out there like a SharePoint or Adobe or whatever that you can really take advantage of and do a lot more with. And so a lot of these companies are stuck with these older sites and they just want to update it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, so let's go now with the kids in the class, sophomores, juniors, seniors, this web design.
Yeah.
You filled up pretty quick. I don't think many freshmen got a chance to be in the audience today. This was one of the popular ones. If you were a junior or senior in high school, okay, and they want to get into web design, whether agency or maybe a freelance as a hobby type thing, or they want into the corporate world, they want to design websites, what would you suggest they do as far as post-secondary goes? Is there like a school? Some of this stuff could be like a 2-year degree, like an IT, is there a web design or
There's so many aspects to it. So there's the IT side, there's the design side, there's, you know, kind of more what I do, which is the psychological sort of